Robbo, you were coming for them, but it just wasn't enough in the end. How'd you see it?
Yeah, I felt like we had a great second half in the areas to create opportunities to then peg back to 14-0, and we had a lot of opportunities. We created enough field position, and then we couldn't execute our plays to peg back the points. It's not a real complicated answer on these ones. It was just you need to convert that field position into execution of plays to score some tries.
But then you'd be supremely disappointed with the opening 40, given the occasion and the day.
Definitely, to have an inside shoulder and then, the same things that were there in the second half were there in the first half. So we obviously, except for the defensive errors, our defensive errors, obviously Satili's inside shoulder and then the drop bomb from Moma's, two really soft tries. But we couldn't execute our opportunities. We had some good sets there to pull them apart, and we couldn't. And then our defence went through the roof. It was as good as I've seen a 40 minutes in Roosters jerseys, in defence to create the opportunities. And then we couldn't execute again. There was a lot of footy. Like, these guys were playing some really. There was lots of opportunities. It wasn't as if it was dour. It was they were coming up with plays, and it was like, oh, it's going to happen, and then, the whistle blew after 40, and we only come up with 2 tries.
You made some late changes with your forward pack. They did too. Did you see that that's what they were going to come at you with, try to ambush you a bit?
Not really. I didn't feel that. I felt like our D was on, but we had yardage errors but we just had 2 soft tries. And it's a credit to them that Ben sort of passed short when we lent out, and a good pick up from Jaden there to score a try. So, but I didn't feel like we were overwhelmed even by half time. It wasn't as if we just couldn't execute opportunities that we had in first half or second half to peg back the points.
Rob, I know you've spoken about your halves a bit and why Sam's in the 6 and Luke's in the 7, but Joey Johns in commentary suggested that when you're attacking, all the quality ball is going to Sam Walker, and it's almost as if he should be the guy in the number 7 with that responsibility. Do you have a thought on those comments from Joey?
No, Joey can have his comments. He can. That's his job, is to comment on that, not to coach our team.
Trent, do you feel at times the attack was going a little bit too sideways, too laterally at times?
Definitely. There? Yeah, they were sliding off a lot. They were sort of sliding away from. We weren't going to go around them. They kept covering that. We needed to go through them, and we just didn't. We just couldn't execute. Anyway, the message was clear, and a couple of times they did it, and then they kept trying to go around them. So
I was going to ask, how do you adapt in the run in a situation like that? Were you sending out messages constantly in that second half, telling them to straighten up, or?
Yeah, we were sending out messages to go through them. We sort of identified a couple of spots there that we wanted on both sides that we wanted to attack, and we did it sometimes, but we just didn't do it enough.
Trent, you mentioned the execution a couple of times. Is there anything specific you can put that down to?
It's just a bit of work there. It's just it sort of hasn't been there this year. I think you guys have heard my comments on it. Like, we're sort of getting there on that, and it sort of hasn't been. It hasn't been in flow yet, but I'm really pumped about some of the areas of the game that we're doing really well. But we haven't really nailed points well so far this year.
How special was the day overall, Teddy? I mean, I know you got beaten, which is not great personally, but the day itself, the occasion, the SCG, the crowd.
Yeah, it's a really special day. The atmosphere out there on the field, the last post, it's pretty surreal, but. It's disappointing that we weren't able to play our best footy. I mean, our second half felt pretty good, but the way we started the game, we were on the back foot, and just not good enough from us.
Do you feel a bit like you were trying to chase the points because you're 14-0 down the second half? As Robbo said, you're getting all those opportunities, but you're rushing it. Is that how it felt out there?
It felt like our yardage and that midfield was really good. We were pretty calm there. We were sort of rolling pretty well, and we felt comfortable and clear there. And then when we got down the goal line, that's probably been our Achilles heel. Just hasn't been as fluent as that midfield and yardage has been. So it's just I was talking to Robbo, and it's hard to sort of put a reason on that. But I didn't feel like we were chasing. We just just didn't execute. I feel like we had a lot of opportunities just to ice those last few passes we just couldn't execute.
Trent, what do you make of Joseph Swiley's first Anzac Day game? Didn't have limited opportunities, but some really strong carries for such a big occasion in his career.
Yeah, he's really good. Like, I felt like that's another really good game from Joey. He had limited ones in the first half. As I said, they're moving out there, so Joey Manu sort of ended up having to cut back a lot. So he's not getting the free ball that we're getting, but he's, you can see there's a fair bit of knowledge about what his role is, and he's doing that really well. Strong carries, and he'll get more and more opportunities the more he plays. It was really good.
What about his defensive read on that and that hit on Jack Bird?
Yeah.
Saved a try, obviously, and I think the flick pass for Joey's try.
Joey's try back to in the middle there. Yeah, he's that's the thing. He's got those class moments. He's not waiting for. He's got his own thought for a young kid. Like, he goes after moments. He's not sitting waiting. He's not timid about those after only a couple of games, and that's really good to see. It's a promising for us, and so we've got to offer him more opportunities to play that way. So yeah, I feel like the last 2 games have been great. It's been such a good start for him.
Does that mean you've got to get him in closer to the ball?
No, not yet. Possibly, but we're not yet. I just think we just got to get him game time, more and more game time. He'll build his game. I know we all get excited. We did the same with Sammy, and we have with other players. But it's just getting lots of game time.
Is it like managing a young Inglis? Like, he started on the wing, moved into the centres, fullback, 5'8". You know what I mean?
It's about we want those opportunities for him to play himself, but we want him to understand how to play NRL and play NRL really, really well, because then he can have 15 years of playing really good footy. So the early days are really teaching him how to play his position, but also he'll have centre and fullback in his game as well, but play multiple positions, but play them really, really well. And for the team, what's the basis of those positions, and then he'll get more opportunities throughout his career. But we just need to set him up well.
Robert, there was an incident with Daniel Tupou in that second half. Obviously faced a judiciary this week, but what did you make of that?
Yeah, I don't think I can comment on it, and I don't really want to comment on the calls today.